So I have a couple of different things. I'm gonna do again a live show for everyone so they can see it. But we'll start PowerPoint. This is on Amazon Web Services. And it's funny because we were talking about Google right before this started, and this is what Amazon can't do for you. We do use Amazon Web Services within Firehose to deploy for our images for a couple of our apps. Flickster, I think, is the one that really starts using it. When you go into Amazon Web Services, and this is pointed out really succinctly in our program, that S3 right here is the only one that we are actually using. I will show you what it looks like when you go into S3. Oh, hi, Colin. Okay, so you will actually see all the services listed on here. Find S3, pull up S3, create a bucket. This bucket will be what actually hosts your images, your videos, and anything that you're going to use in your application. It's very simple to create that bucket. You're going to put a name under here, a region, and you can leave the region we used US standard, actually, I think, in the Firehose project in our Flickster. And no character. So we'll do lightning talks. I can't spell lightning. Holy cow, it doesn't like any of the words that I'm using here, so we'll try this. Now there is a bucket that has lightning talks on here. I will move this off of the screen. And it has the region, the date. So when you set up your, and I will pull up Sublime. When you set up your account, you want to have all this information. So when you pull up your Sublime, it's not going to pull up, of course. Let me get the Sublime up. Sorry about that. Okay, when you pull up your Sublime and open your Vagrant and pull up Flickster in your config. And now, of course, I don't remember which one it's in. There we go. In your application.yml YAML file, you will actually have to put the access key, the secret key, what bucket you have, and the region that you are using from your information that's right here. And you can have everything will be on here so that you can see what you will need for your application. Fortunately or unfortunately, the Amazon Web Services actually is a lot larger than just S3. So I can go back into the PowerPoint. Who needs and uses Amazon Web Services? Startups. The benefits of building and scaling your startup. There are special perks for startups, and they have tons of them. They allow you to have a couple of years free if you need it, depending on how well or badly your startup does. Numerous ways to lower costs. You can deploy to mobile very quickly and very easily. And they're global comes standard. So everything that Amazon offers you for startups, I mean, you get everything for a year for free, at least to start. Enterprises, large enterprises use Amazon Web Services also because they can focus on the needs of the enterprise and not the infrastructure. It's trusted and secure. There's a complete platform, rapid innovation, global footprint, built for a hybrid cloud, and it has built-in auditing and compliance. Benefits of using Amazon Web Services. It offers a broad set of global compute, storage, database, analytics, application, and deployment services that help organizations move faster, lower costs, and scale operations. Basically, it's one-stop shopping for anything that you want to do. If you want to set up a web app, it can be done. If you want just a virtual server, kind of like the VMS that we have set up, it can be done. If you want, there are out-of-the-box solutions, there are in-the-box solutions, there are totally customizable, and everything in between. It's easy to use. It's existing and software as a service based. It's reliable and scalable, flexible. You can select the operating system, the programming language, the web app platform, and the database for your needs. And I will go through setting up another one to show you how to set up a Ruby site very quickly, and they have sample sites so that you can pull in, you can see what it does, unless you want to go ahead and pull in, like I went ahead and pulled in my Flickster app just to see how long it took and what it took to set up. Additional benefits include that it's cost effective. You only pay for what you use. There's no long-term contracts or commitments. And it has different physical, operational, and software measures that help keep web services secure. A lot of the things that you don't even know run, they have Amazon servers and systems in the background. The infrastructure services for the computing, they use virtual services, containers, one-click web app deployment, auto-scaling, load balancing. They also have storage and content delivery, where they object storage, block storage, file system storage, data transport, integrated storage. Database, different kinds of databases, relational, they do database migration, NoSQL, caching, data warehousing, networking. They have virtual private cloud, direct connections, DNS. I'll show you some of the DNS. I'll show you the 4 most popular services that they use with Amazon Web Services. They also do analytics, Hadoop, data pipelines, Elasticsearch, streamlined data, machine learning, business intelligence, data warehouse. As you can tell, you could do on each of these, you could probably have a 7-minute talk on all of them. So it's a large scale operation that can have applications for anything. If you want to be a full stack developer, you can work with Amazon Web Solutions. If you have a large company, a startup, a one-man business, there's a solution for you and a price range that you can fit in. For the enterprise applications, they have desktop virtualization, email and calendaring, document sharing and feedback. And I don't know if it's any easier or better than Google, Colin, that we were talking about. So I'm assuming from the reviews and from just the stuff that I've done with it that it's pretty close, but I kind of like Google, so we'll have to see. Maybe we'll have a competition between Google and Amazon. They also do mobile services, API management, app testing, mobile analytics. And just like Google, there are a lot of analytics that Amazon does. You can see the number of people that are on your site, the click-through, anything you want to have with analytics, you can get an answer on. The number of people that are clicking through to the Firehose project. Increased developer productivity, and this is a big one. Developer tools, they have source code management, code deployment, and continuous delivery. Management tools, they have everything from CloudWatch to service catalogs and advisors to help you with the management of any of the issues that you have. Security, they have the firewalls, security assessment. They will come in and use their systems to help you assess if you have any security risks and help plug the holes if you need them. That's actually, even with the free tier that you have, that's available for you. Application services, obviously email, search, app streaming, API management, queuing, global network of regions. And one of the things that we had to do for the S3 was pick which region we were using. And the reason that they do that is they actually have so that it automatically will go to the region that you have the least amount of lag and the quickest deployment of your website. But there are times when it makes sense to choose a region and time when it makes sense to let the system choose the region for you. And each of these areas, there are servers with your site on a redundant server in redundant different systems. So if one site goes down, there is absolutely no time between the site going down in one area and having it up on another area. They actually have a 99.95% service contract with you. And if it goes down for any more than that, I think basically the bottom's probably dropped out of the world or something. EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud. These are 4 of the basic tenets that people use on Amazon Web Services. This one provides resizable compute capacity in the cloud. It's designed to scale cloud computing for developers. It reduces the time required to obtain and boot new server instances, complete control of your computing resources. Like Vagrant is set up, and Heroku are set up so that it's in the box. Everything is in there. Oh, wow, that's really fast. Oh, quit dinging me. So there's a whole bunch more on here, but I will show you the easy way. It shows you, it takes less than 30 seconds for you to deploy to, let me pull this out here, for you to deploy to the Amazon servers. And I actually did a screenshot so that I could show you what this looks like when you deploy it. Doesn't like that one. Wrong screenshot. This one. There we go. Okay, it took me less than 3 minutes to deploy to Beanstalk, which is one of the other places. And Colin will have all of this talk. I have, I think, probably 25 more slides on here available. So Colin will have this for you if you have any questions. But the Elastic Beanstalk is just like our Heroku. It's not as customizable as the EC2, but basically you can deploy your app or any app that you want, or use one of their apps just to see how long it takes, which is what I did. First time I went through, and it took 3 minutes to deploy their app. And I figured that they were cheating me, so I wanted to see how long it would actually take to put up one of the apps that we'd created with Firehose. And it took less than 2 minutes to have everything and to put Flickster out on the web. And it's just, instead of having .heroku.com, it ends up with elasticbeanstalk.com, so that you can have, other people see it. And they have different, let me show you real fast. Oh, whoops, that would be the actual page, not here. When you are trying to deploy to here, let me sign in, and you pull up Elastic Beanstalk, there are create new applications. The first thing you're going to do is just choose the name, and then you're going to do the web server environment. Here's where you can choose the platforms. These are all pre-configured. So you got Node, JavaScript, PHP, Python, Ruby, Tomcat, Java, Go, generic Docker, for those of you that use Docker. But you just click on Ruby. There's 2 different environment types that you can do: a single instance or load balancing and auto scaling. And basically it's just a click through, and it takes about 30 seconds to go through all this. You don't actually need anything more than what I just did. And it pulls up your first application. And this shows you how the health is on that application, how long it took, the deployment, and everything that it did to launch your site. But that's just Ruby, and there is a way to do a Ruby on Rails in there. But the rest of the PowerPoint, like I said, will be available because there are benefits to each of them. There are also, just like last time when I did a talk, there were anybody that's in school that still has a school email address can get an Amazon, get all of the services, not just the free tier, for free, as long as you're government or a nonprofit or in education. So there are, like I said, there's a lot more slides here. So if you want to go ahead and go through the slides on your own, it'll be available. It just talks about the S3, which is what we used to store. No minimum fee. You only pay for what you use, but we got that for the free tier. The S3, 99.9% of the objects that you have can go into the images and the videos that we have. Very little cannot be stored within there. You can put anything that you want in there. There are also events. If someone uploads or something is uploaded to there, it can trigger a workflow to alert you, and another part of your site will actually do something else. So if there's a pay that you want or something done, you can do that all through the S3. All of these also integrate together. So if you use the storage along with the Beanstalk, which is like our Heroku, everything would actually be out there on Amazon. Benefits to all of these. The other one is the Route 53, which is just like GoDaddy. It also helps, it shows users how to translate the name, like the Firehose project, to the actual IP address of a Firehose, which is 104.236.116.26, which is the actual DNS of the Firehose. So it's just like GoDaddy. It does the hosting there, it does domain hosting, it does, everything that GoDaddy does. I'm done now. Okay, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that's included in the pricing. So now I'm done. Stop sharing the screen.
Success. So that was an awesome talk. Super interesting stuff. I'm curious if, so you've deployed Rails apps to the Elastic Beanstalk.
I did.
How are you able to go into like the Rails console, or is there any way to do something like that?
I haven't gotten that far yet. You can, it allows you to go into Git to pull the stuff into the Elastic Beanstalk. And there is, you don't have to use Git if you want to deploy right through Amazon. They have their own little code storage area, but I kind of like Git since we learned how to do that. But I would assume that with ease of the use that you can there's probably a Rails console that you can use in there. I haven't tried it yet.
Interesting. Super cool. It's super interesting. I looked into Elastic Beanstalk a while ago, and it wasn't as flexible as it is now. So it's super interesting to see.
Yeah, it's really, between the EC2 and the Electric Bean, just because it's already out of the box and ready to go. The thing about the EC2 is it's more customizable. So that may be something for somebody who's a little bit more advanced. But those of us that are just starting out, the Beanstalk is a great tool.
Cool. Good stuff. Does anybody else have any other questions for Diane?
Did you try the EC2?
I did try the EC. Well, I set up the EC2 and started to go through it. It just took a lot longer. And when I was trying to get it set up, it was like, this could take a while. But it didn't tell you what a while was. And by the time I left and came back, it had done it. But it didn't, like with the Beanstalk, it actually showed each step that it went through. And the EC2 didn't do that. So I honestly don't know how long it took or when it finished or anything else. But my husband used it because he's better at coding than I am.
With EC2, you have to actually go in, install Ruby. I mean, I think you can get pre-compiled, but I was playing with EC2 for a while versus Beanstalk, and if you are not a sysadmin, if you don't deal with servers, if you don't deal with Linux that often, go with Beanstalk. Because granted, you get full control with EC2, but it is not for the faint of heart. You get no GUI environment, so it's all 100% console. You can set up a GUI, but it's a pain and not worth it. But
and I think that that's actually on some of the boards that I went to on like web appers. They were talking about the fact that there isn't a GUI, and so they are working on it. And every day they come up with something new. So this is a ever-changing environment. Something changes from 1 week to the next. Actually, they added a couple of different benefits from last Thursday to today. So I went in and added. So the PowerPoint is updated today based on the new things that they added to Beanstalk.
Cool. Super good stuff. Does anybody else have any other questions for Diane?